Okay, I'd like to welcome you to the third session for Microsoft CRM for St. Joseph's Media. The first session we gave a general overview on the tool. The second session we talked about accounts. In the third session we're now going to keep track of contacts and how we can leverage contacts to better manage what's going on within the organization. So what we can do here is we can keep track of information. So again, just by keeping track of an email or opening up an email, we have the ability to track it in CRM, and if the individual exists in the database, it will automatically track it to that database. But if we've got a different email address, we just go in here and say set regarding. We pick the contact. We enter a little bit of information on them, and it automatically tracks that email to them. So now we can view it in CRM. And again, we can go look at the contact file, and under history, that email occurs. And any future correspondence on that email will automatically be tracked back and forth. So when we reply back, all of that information is automatically tracked in CRM against the contact. So just like with accounts, we can go in here and we can open contacts. It will show you what your active contacts are. You have the ability to look at all active contacts across the company. The same sort of sorting criteria occurs, so we can sort based on the letter A. We could sort based on the letter S. We could go in here and type in ST. And what this will do is wherever the first name begins with ST or the last name begins with ST, it will automatically pull them up. This can be exported to Excel if we want, and it gives us the ability to manipulate or control those things as well. So if we want to go look at a specific contact, we just go in here, we double click on the contact, and the same sort of look and feel occurs here as we saw under the account methodology. So there's some general information on the account. You can double click on the account itself and it will automatically take us in so we can see who all the contacts are directly. And back to the contact, it's got their email address, their phone number, the basic contact details. And you have the ability to go in and change this to anything you want. So as they move or change, all that information is automatically updated. Under rep assignment, the same methodology approves here that you can tie yourself to a specific contact. If they're being comped on specific magazines, you can come in here, you can input the number or the details of what they want, and again, it's automatically tracked and updated in the system. Contact roles are based on what type of individual they are. So if your business is tracking that, if they're a business owner or a creative designer, it just allows you to build better lists on this down the road. Details is if you want to track any of the personal information, and you may or may not want to use this. Administration comes back to how they want to be communicated. So you may have a customer that says, I no longer want to receive bulk emails. All you need to do is come over here and set that, and they'll no longer be able to receive bulk emails. And again, the notes functionality is exactly the same here as well. When we're looking at contacts, we separate activities into two types. Activities are things that have yet to be done or completed, and history is anything that has been completed. So when we're looking at activities, these are phone calls or meetings that need to be completed with that individual. And again, we can open up any one of these and it gives us the details that we want to keep track of. History is anything that's been completed, and again, we can see who's engaged with that individual. We can look at it over the last 6 months, so again, it gives us more detail. Same sort of filter criteria applies, that if I just want to look at appointments, I can click on activity type and it will just give me the appointments first. It's the same thing with emails. I can look at it by date. I also have the ability to look and see do they have any relationships and some basic information there. Are they included on any marketing list? So all of those details are tracked there. Now if we want to look up a real customer, same sort of thing occurs here. We can go in and type in Riza, and we just double click on Riza. And the nice thing about this is, again, the same functionality occurs, that I can see who the rep is that's assigned to that individual. Are we comping them anything? No. Have we entered any notes? No. But what we can start to see is, there are some activities. Some things have been done with this account over the last period of time. So again, in a real-life situation, we can see that Paul's engaged with this account, and he's done a number of things over the last couple days. And since today's the 21st, it gives us a good handle on what's going on there. You know, if there's any opportunities which are typically tied to the account, we've got that information here as well. So a couple other quick things we want to run through are how to track activities against a contact. So if we're in and we're talking to Luke and we need to set up a meeting with Luke, we can go in here, we can go to Actions, Add Activity, and let's say I want a phone call, I want to call Luke. The nice thing about doing it this way is it automatically populates his phone number. So you can say check on quote status. Now I can assign this to someone else. If I'm not going to do it, but I need Aisha to do this for me, I can assign the task to Aisha, and it will automatically occur for Aisha. And if I need her to call this customer on Tuesday because I'm away on vacation, and again, I can just save and close, and now this will occur. You know, it'll be something that Aisha needs to follow up on, but all that information can be tracked real time. Same thing with meetings. If I want to set up a meeting with Luke, I just go in here, Add Activity, go over here to Appointments, and it gives me the ability to schedule an appointment. So if I want to do a discovery call, and I want the call to occur next Thursday at 9 a.m. or at 11 a.m., and I want it to be an hour, it automatically sets that. And just like you would send a meeting request out of Outlook, all that information can be tracked real time. So again, I save and close this, and now anyone can come in here and they can see that that activity's been scheduled, when it's been scheduled, when it was last updated. Now, one of the other things that's important is if you call someone and you leave a message, you want to be able to send what's called a left voicemail template or send an email. So rather than going into Outlook, sending an email, tracking it back to CRM, we can go into CRM itself and send an email directly from the tool, and we can leverage some templates that have been created. So if I want to send a left voicemail template, I just go in here, double click on it, and it says, "Hi Luke, I just left you a voicemail, please call me at this number," and I can say I left you a voicemail about the quote. And again, I can send this out and it's automatically tracked in history. So if I send it out from the tool, again, it's automatically tracked in history, so anybody can see that, you know, I did leave a voicemail and all that information's tracked real time. So just to recap quickly, when we look at contacts, we have filters. So if we want to look at all the filters in the 514, or all the contacts in the 514 area code, we can just come over here and say I want to look at contacts. If we want to look at anybody whose name begins with the letter I, we just come over here, select that. We can type in some specific details, search based on that. When we open up contacts, we can see who the rep assignment is. We can see if they're attached to a comp list. Are there any notes? Are there any activities or history? All that information can be tracked real time. And as well, we can send emails or create activities or follow-ups for ourselves for these accounts. So it makes it very easy to keep track of what's going on with people in our accounts. So this concludes the third session in terms of managing contacts within the Microsoft CRM database.